Call the names. Wake the room. Wake the room. Wake the room! Luyu, Rex, Pam Ray, Naomi, Afasiana, Babbler, Monarch Soul, Jojo, Grey Eyes, fill my eyes. Poets assemble. No masks, no manners. Say it plain, or say it broken. Monday night in the garden of enlightenment. Low light lit minds, every line got intent. Clock ticks crooked and the room turns vigilant. Quiet so loud you can hear what the tension meant. Then it slips after midnight, manners get murdered. Nice little masks get cracked by a word or a murmur. Twisted Tuesdays twist truth till it turns on its heel. Clean cut faces go strange when the dark gets real. You can feel that shift, that slick little slip when the grin stays sweet, but the eyes don't sit. Like the room grew ribs, like the walls grew ears, like the hush got hands and it's pulling you near. And the words don't rest, they press. Put a heel on the chest, leave a dent in the breath. Every line like a knock from the back of the brain. Like you came in one shape, you won't leave the same. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown in the soft dough dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in your ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Say it plain, say it broken. Late night poets, Wednesday breaks, parts in the park, sink down the spine, half halo, half hazard, both hands in the light. In the yard, a seduction walks soft through the smoke, silk on the tongue with the blade in the joke. Books and bards wakes dust in the depth of the shelves. Old ghosts lean out and start naming themselves in a craft and sullen up the ache. Gets a voice, pain stands up straight and makes silence a choice. Then break on through when the devil gives way, when the masses sink but the pulse says pray. Echoes in the dark, go hunt the fear, that thing with no name starts ringing in your ear. Say it, say it. Fill my eyes with poetry, don't water it down. Let it bite, let it bloom, let it burn through the crowd. Bad company grins like a bruise, dressed smart, and rhythm and rhyme puts a boot through the heart. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown in the soft dome dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Say it plain, say it broken. Late night poets, some come shattered, some come slick. Some speak honey with a blade in it. Some sound velvet, some sound wire. Some walk in low and take the room higher. Some come holy, some come liars. That's the thing! This ain't filler for the dead space, no. There's a pulse with a pen, this is blood with a nickel. This is breath to the backbone, ink with the crown. Live mics, live nerves, truth laid bare in the round. This is the beautiful mess, the bruise and the bloom. The line that cuts clean and makes a little room. Late souls, wide eyes, all nerve in the dark. A room full of hearts beating hard through the dark. Wake the room, wake the room. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown in the soft dome dim. wanting more. Late night poets, when the clock slips past polite, we tell the truth. LNP, we love you. Stay frosty.
Yes, what he said. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twisted Tuesdays with the Twisted Sisters. I hope everyone's having a great night and, a great week and a better week to follow. Oh, I said it wrong. Hi, Pam. How are you?
Oh, all in all, I'm doing pretty good. I kept busy today with, doing indoor stuff. Didn't get outside, but, and I shouldn't say real busy, like honest to goodness, it was just not a real productive day. In fact, it involved about a 3-hour nap in the afternoon. So, yeah, but all in all, doing pretty good. And how are you doing?
Well, does that mean I can go back for the rest of that hour and a half? Ah,
There you go.
I'm actually,
Yep, in order to catch up.
I'm actually doing pretty good. It was a crazy day. All kinds of, silly stuff going on. Hi, Naomi.
Hello, hello,
The Twisted Sisters.
Hey, Naomi.
hello.
Yes.
Nice to hear ya, girls.
Good to hear you too. So, how are you tonight? How was your day?
Well, it was like I said in the room earlier, it was a vacuum mop and house day. So, yeah, cleaning, a lot of cleaning. Pardon me?
Can you do that here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. First thing. I coffee. No,
Yeah.
I might even make homemade donuts if you're coming.
Oh, wow.
I've been back
Oh, my.
no problem. Sounds good to me. Oh my goodness. Yeah. My day was not that kind of eventful. But boy, this afternoon, well, I was going to say all hell broke loose. Everybody and their brother called me at the same time. It was pretty funny actually because I'm like, wait, I can't talk to you yet. I got to stay on this phone call. Wait, now I'll call you back. Oh wait, you're not answering. Wait, and then someone's just calling in the middle of that. I was like, oh my god. I was laughing. I was like, oh my god, which direction do I go? And it didn't stop there because after all that, then I went out in the other room to cook, and all of a sudden I hear my phone ringing. I'm like, who the hell's calling me now? I was like, oh, forget this. So it was just a mentally busy day. I had a bunch of little things I'm trying to tie up. But other than that, it was wonderful. So let's see. Now it's time for the weather report. Pam, what was your weather today?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I saw that our high today was 75, and partially cloudy. Yeah. Oh no, I take that back. Our high was 77. Right now it's at 62, and it was actually sunny today.
Nice, very nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. I'm jealous. 77 sounds wonderful. Naomi, how was how was your weather today?
Yeah, about the same, I'd say. It was a really nice day. Not as hot as been having. We've had these really hot days throughout the summer there, but yeah, I'd say about I have trouble like converting Celsius and Fahrenheit there fast in my head, but I'd say about the same.
Both.
Yeah. So it was like 20, I'd say 25 Celsius. So no idea what that is in Fahrenheit. But it was a nice day. I got out a bit, like to take out the garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you call that when you, the rugs? The rugs outside,
Oh, beat the rugs.
Yeah, I beat the rugs outside, so I got out for that. That, the garbage. Oh, I went to the mail. Yeah, I went to the mailbox down the road. So yeah, but I'm all
Just so you
happy
know, I look
because
it up.
yeah. How much was it? How
Go
much
ahead.
the
Go ahead. Finish.
Celsius? Oh, I was just gonna say I'm back from
Yes, it was
by the
70.
ocean. 77. Same
Yeah,
as Pam. See.
25 to 77. Yeah,
So yeah,
very
I'm
good.
right
Very
back
good.
from the salty air of the ocean, like down home, see my parents. So already lonesome for it. But yeah, we got to the seashore a bit, and we went to. Do you guys have that in the States, Costco?
Yes. Yes, we. Well, I do.
Okay,
On my end, I do. I don't know about
okay.
Pam.
Yeah, I don't
So
think we do around here, but I have heard of them.
okay.
So,
Well, my parents have. I don't have a card because I don't think it's worth it, you know. But
Yeah.
my parents, they're big. Like my mother buys cooking supplies for 10 years in advance, you know the type. Oh my gracious, she gets in there and she does alley by alley, and you know it's like my father's there, you know, and yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what he does, but find something to do.
probably do they have all the free samples of food they pass out?
Yeah, that's
Yes, that's
exactly what
probably
he
what your dad
does.
does.
Yeah, like he tastes everything. And then I went down with my daughter and my two grandchildren and my two granddaughters, and that's what they did too. You know, they're just running around. You know, eating, tasting everything. So yeah, we had a big day at Costco, and then of course my mother doesn't have enough of Costco, so she has to go see the specials that are on at Walmart, like
Right.
across the road. So yeah, so shopping, and yeah, so and at the beach, and yeah, just family time. So
Right.
yeah, had
Awesome.
fun.
When
Hmm.
you didn't come to the show last week, I said, "Wow, I don't know." Somehow you came up in conversation, and I said, "She said something about going to see her parents," and I laughed.
Hmm.
And I said, "That's probably where she's at." See, I'm glad I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Macros corrected me and said that 20 degrees Celsius is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So whatever site I was on my browser must have been lying. I don't know.
Well, I said 25.
Well, yes. Well, okay, and I said 77, so I guess it's close. It
Okay.
must be close. She also said that she had a day of 104.
Oh
And
my
I said,
gracious.
"Where are you?" She said, "Kansas." So Kansas was
Uh,
mighty hot today. That's what I'm going to say about that.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is hot.
ugh,
not my thing. But
I'd die.
oh yeah, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Oh no, I was here. It was 77 today, and I was doing the vacuuming and the mopping, of the house, and I was just, water was just coming down my face and everywhere. I had to have a shower when I finished. It was like awful. Oh,
Yeah.
I think I'm right in the middle of menopause. I have to be. I mean, come on.
You're just a young kid there, Naomi. Don't be saying that.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. You're not one of those ladies yet. You're only 25.
Oh yeah. Woo! I wish. I wish.
Now Pam, she's 77. See? I was 87 today. 87. That's not too bad, I guess. But we're at 73 right now, so I'm a happy girl. And but it was sticky. It was sticky today. That's the way it is, I guess. It's a luck we have, I guess. I guess. Now I'm going to ask my neighbor Yumpy. Yumpy, what was your weather today? And remember, I said it was 87. He's going to give me some wonderful number like you and Pam. Sunny, less humid, and 74. And
Oh,
he's only a couple hours from me. Why do you get
oh
the
yeah. Wow.
Why does he get the good weather and I don't? That's what I want to know. It's because he's up in the mountains. That's why. But anyway, so that's wonderful. And hello to everybody on YouTube. Nice to see you. Well, kinda. 65. God, we're at like 75, 73. What did I say? Something like
65 is nice.
Yeah, 65 is a good. That's like comfy weather, you know.
That
Like,
is.
yeah. You throw on a little bit of a sweater or a heavier shirt if you want to. He says it's heaven. You live in heaven? No, you don't. You live in the Poconos. No. But yeah, 65 is a nice temperature. Nice temperature. Yes, absolutely. No, so no, so
I
that
don't know. In my mind, we went so fast from talking about how young Naomi is to Jean going, I was 87 today, that I was like,
yeah,
is she saying she felt 87 today? Like,
I felt
that's a very specific age.
Same.
That's what I said. I said, Naomi's
Glad I wasn't the only one.
Naomi's only 25.
Today, we were reporting ages. I would have been like 92 today.
No, but that's what I said. I said, Naomi's only 25 today. She said so. I said, no, she's 77. And then I didn't repeat that part. And then I said, no, I was 87. Yes.
Well, my back didn't feel like 25. I'm telling you that. Oh my
Oh my
gracious!
God.
I'm actually going for X-rays tomorrow. Finally, I
Oh,
got
that's
a
good.
doctor. You know, because I didn't have a doctor for so long, and I finally got a family doctor. And so she sent me for X-rays in my back and my left shoulder isn't I can't lift my arm. So
Maybe it'll be just a touch of bursitis. Don't ask me where I get that from. It's always possible.
yeah, I'll
Hopefully
see.
they can fix you right up. But that's
Yeah.
okay, because you don't need to lift that arm to hang out with us. Well,
No.
we're not worried. Yes. Anyway, I'm just being silly. But yeah, so it's Tuesday, and Pam's got a huge board of poetry. Well,
Mhm.
maybe I shouldn't say.
Yes. 28 rights on the board.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, yep. Well, I planned it so that might possibly have 2 shows. There's actually 35 rights in the contest,
Right.
but I didn't get permission from everyone, which is, usual.
Right.
But once you have 28 rights on the board, you don't want to ask anybody because they're going to go down at the bottom.
Right. And
Okay, at least I don't want to ask anybody.
That's right. You ask it for next week.
I'll be asking them for next week,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I didn't want to ask them and put them as number like 29, 30 through, or 29 through 35 or whatever it is, and but yeah, I went with a topic that I thought would work well for pre-writes because it is a topic that I have seen contests run up before. I haven't actually ran one myself, but that is on the word serendipity, which means to find something good without looking for it, to discover something beautiful by chance or accident. So I put up the definition. I told people to share a write, either a new write or a pre-write or a new write on the topic of serendipity. And then I had an anonymous quote that says, sometimes the best things in life are found when you least expect them.
Oh, absolutely.
So it was definitely a right, or not a right, a topic that got great responses, quality and quantity. and I'm really hopeful for, a two-part show, so that way there's no need to run a contest for tomorrow. But, if for some reason I have to run a contest, well, or collect rights, I'll just take it from there. But I'm very pleased with the poetry that we have for tonight.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. My famous words that well, I always say them around here. It's like when you least expect it, expect it.
Yep.
I had a girlfriend say, "Oh, I'm never going to have a baby. I'm never going to have a baby." I said, "When you least expect it, expect it." Without a word of lie, the next month she was pregnant. And I'm going, "Oh." And she's looking at me, shaking her head like, "Jean, Jean." I can't tell you exactly what she said to me. There were bad words involved. Because, yeah, I always throw people a curve when I do that stuff. So, but it was pretty funny. Because,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. And the other thing is that is really cool. That as far as the topic of serendipity, for me, I think it makes definitely for a very positive topic.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's nice to have a positive kind of um, vibe to the show. And
Yeah,
not that I don't like, darker rights or somber rights, but, sometimes it's just good to have a little bit of an upbeat kind of thing going on. That's my opinion anyway. But we all know about
oh,
opinions, and I'm not
absolutely.
going to, opinions are like noses. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not finishing it,
And
but
we all know I like dark rights.
well, yeah,
So,
right, exactly,
but
exactly. Oh my goodness, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of fun, when you get the dark ones going on. I like when on Fridays, there's no theme on Fridays. It's just open poetry, and it's so funny because some nights you go down and you would swear there was some kind of a topic involved because things kind of drift to in a certain direction and they kind of stay there. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of neat, but yeah. So I
that's
like it.
always fun when that happens.
Yeah, because I kind of sit there and I go, "Wow, this is pretty good." Yes, yes, yes. Kind of serendipitous. No, I'm only kidding, but just being a smart. Oh, girls, girls, girls. Pam woke me up at 10 minutes to 10. I was so sound asleep. I don't know what happened to my alarm. It never, well, I don't know if it went off and I turned it off or if it never went off, but I was out cold. And I hear my phone ringing and I'm like, oh, it must be my alarm. And I looked and I went, no, it's Pam calling me. I said, shit, I never heard my alarm. So I got up, see, and I'm even kind of like coherent right now. That's pretty good. I think that's impressive. You
That
should all
is
be proud of
impressive.
me. Yes, everybody should be proud of me. But
That is very, very impressive. Yeah, I had a feeling because like I said, I'd taken a long nap. I woke up at 8, and then
mhm,
I had my alarm set for 8:40. But by the time my alarm went off, I did everything I needed to do. It was like 8:51 by this is my time.
right, right.
Like it's less than 10 minutes before the show. And I thought, that's strange. There's no links up. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call her.
Yeah, that's a good thing you did. But not that you and Naomi couldn't handle it, but I wouldn't have done that to you intentionally. But I was really sound asleep. Had you not called, I don't know. I think I might have slept through it. But Pam's smart. She says, yeah, that Jean, she's not doing what she's supposed to do. Where is she? Good thing I got her in charge, because otherwise, I don't know, we'd be sunk with me.
There's a scary idea.
Oh my god! Sometimes she's the only, she's my compass. Oh my gosh! But yeah, so we got, yeah, I think we got a great board. We got great company. So maybe, maybe we should start the party. What do you think, Pam?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, since you say that, I want to put this first piece. And Pam, I'm going to give it to you. This is called Serendipity by Lynn Gauthier. So whenever you are ready.
All right. And there it was in all its glory, magical, glowing, in endless motion. graciously, lazily, putting on a show just for me, content with my admiration, hypnotizing me, drawing me in, enchanting in sync with my soul, communicating somehow a message of love and peace, of harmony, entranced time magically standing still. End poem. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. And your thoughts, Jean?
Well, I thought this was a very soothing piece in some way. That probably sounds silly, but I loved the way she did this. You could kind of fall right into that. Well, I'm going to say right into that sunset, because when you look at that image she has up, I assume that that's what she's speaking of, because it's so beautiful, and that magical glowing and endless motion. It just kind of led me right back to the picture, and then graciously, lazily putting on a show just for me. I thought that was, like I say, it just drew me into that image, and then I could kind of just relax to it somehow. I don't know. I found it to be wonderful. She says, "Content with my admiration, hypnotizing me," and it's kind of the vibe I got from the whole poem, which I think was wonderful. So wonderful job, Lynn Gauthier, and thank you so much for sharing with us. I think it's Gauthier.
Oh,
I'll behave.
absolutely. Great comment, Jean. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Yeah, well, when you were reading this, Pam, I was reading along with you, and I didn't even notice the image at all, and I was going, oh my gracious, what a wonderful poetic definition of serendipity. And then, of course, I noticed when Phil was talking about the picture, this beautiful sunset. And I said, oh, yeah, wow. But, this could be anything, that she's talking about here, anything that has to do with serendipity. I really love drawing me in and chanting in sync with my soul. And then a message of love and peace, of harmony and trance, time magically standing still, and beautiful words, and such a graceful way of laying that out there, the poetic message here. So very well done indeed.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. Yeah, I thought this piece connected really well with the image, but also stood up well on its own. She really paints a picture with her words.
Mhm.
This has a really nice flow to it, um, and great imagery. And, it does feel like the idea of your soul connecting with a beautiful moment. And, that just great lines throughout, and very well done by Lynn Gauthier.
Nice. Nice comments, ladies. Nice comments. Um, okay, this next piece, Naomi, I'm going to come to you for this one. And this is called Serendipity by Anthea. So whenever you're ready. Off mute, Naomi, off mute.
Oh my gracious, I've been talking away to myself. Okay. Okay. So you gave me time to swallow my chip. And they're not ketchup, Pam, so don't worry. At night, feverish and perturbed, lost in smoky memories of yesterday, you slowly pull my palm to the side of your warm face, close your eyes, and plant the softest kiss on my hand. With a melting glance, you tell me it wounded you, that I didn't remember. the time we first met as strangers in drunken haze, seeking each other despite our inebriated state. We were seated on the grass in a park, listening to the other talk, unloading our minds and watching the flickering stars and pushing away the world that forgot about us. I'm sorry I didn't recognize your kind face when we met again. The intensity beneath that intimidating, stern exterior, or the fire in your eyes hidden by those black, horn rimmed glasses. I look at you now, seated on the floor, head thrown back against the couch, your eyes naked, a smile lifting the corners of your mouth. Sighing deeply, you draw me closer and closer to you. And I remember the details of long ago, that evening at the park, your company, how your words splashed over me in moon enchanted waves, how my boat ceased to tremble as you became the stable land beneath my feet. Your face is glowing now as you rest your head in my lap while I extol the shining stars for returning you to me. End poem.
Nice read, Naomi. Uh,
Absolutely. And Jean, your thoughts?
here she goes. She's gonna start doing me first every time. I can see it now. You hear this now?
Not- Almost the plan, but not quite.
Yeah, I thought that this was really nicely done. It's a wonderful romantic piece. And it's not overly romantic. It had its feet on the floor, but a lovely story told throughout. I guess I'll go with this next to last, well, the last stanza, let's say. And I remember the details of long ago, that evening at the park, your company, how your words splashed over me in moon enchanted waves, how my boat ceased to tremble as you became the stable land underneath my feet. Your face is glowing now as you rest your head in my lap, while I extol the shining stars for returning you to me. I thought that was just a lovely way to end this, and I think it really was nicely done. So, thank you so much for sharing with us, Ianthea. Great job.
Yes, definitely. Great comment, Jean. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Yeah, beautiful encounter told, and another great example of serendipity, something that happened that really good that happened that wasn't planned, their meeting. I loved the detail, the black horn rimmed glasses, and all that stanza. The description there, intimidating, stern exterior, or the fire in your eyes hidden by those black horn rimmed glasses. And the way he's seated on the floor, the head thrown back against the couch, eyes naked, a smile lifting the corners of your mouth. Yeah, really awesome detail that makes the whole encounter, the whole story here really pop and come to life. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. Yeah, I noticed a few rights tonight were on the topic of love and romance, which, makes sense when it comes to a theme of serendipity. Because oftentimes, people find love when they're least expecting it. This is great storytelling by Anthea. Wonderful attention to detail.
Yes.
I like how it speaks on the idea of a story about a couple who meet years apart and, not recognizing the other person at first, and then looking at them, truly looking at their eyes, into their eyes, into their soul, and seeing who they were those many years ago, and seeing that despite all the changes they've gone through, that same person is still beneath. Um, I thought there were wonderful lines throughout, But I did especially like, I'm sorry I didn't recognize your kind face when we met again, the intensity beneath that intimidating stern exterior, or the fire in your eyes hidden by those black horn rimmed glasses. And then the stanza after that was nice too. Wonderful and very well done.
Yes, ma'am. I liked it. Okay. Well, this next piece that we're going to put up is called Beyond the Tempest by Lockdown Larks. So let me drop the link and hit the button because we have an audio for this. And here we go.
My dear one, it is now time to add to your knowing. It is needed to help your growing. By a brother, I was betrayed and cast aside, to this island helped by one who was kind. Soon I'll meet again those who took me for a ride, the passing years never dulling my mind. The seas of chance now brings them to this place. As the tide turns, I shall meet them again, and we'll confront their time and space, when they will know of humiliation and pain. Can a wounded soul ever be bygone, when only justice will set it free? As hope whispers, you must carry on, and from a tempest you may find serenity. The rival is done, yet innocence now meets the outside, whilst I chase revenge for that which they stole. But I now see in her eyes the look of a bride. So this new future, how can I control? Can this wounded soul ever be bygone, when only justice can set me free? And yet hope still whispers to carry on. Beyond this tempest, find my serenity. So on to a masked party greeting, where illusion, falsehoods, and truth collide. Here I see that true love overcomes cheating. As revenge meets guilt, humility is unveiled, and we all can now abide. A wounded soul should never be bygone. They must seek justice to set them free. When hope whispers, just carry on. Look beyond the tempest for your serenity. Oh, wounded souls, harbor your wrongs. Let true love be an anchor that sets them free. When hope finds trust to sing their songs, and beyond a tempest you may find serenity.
Thank you, Larks, for the SoundCloud. It is greatly appreciated. And just a reminder, everyone, if you're unable to call in, The next best thing is to make a recording of your poem because then we get to hear your poetry in your voice or how you would like it to be heard. And Naomi, your thoughts.
Yes. Yeah, this at first I was struggling a little bit to find the the relationship to serendipity. But then I thought of hope, and it's all about hope, this poem. And, without hope, there is never any serendipity. And, if you have hope, you have everything, you can have that special moment that arrives. You can have that, uh, you can have all that those special moments that just come, and that are the definition of serendipity. And whilst I chase revenge for that which they stole, but I now see in her eyes the look of a bride. So this new future, how can I control? I was wondering if that was, the meeting of somebody new, but then I see this is for, um, it's a Shakespeare fantasy as Prospero relates his journey beyond the tempest that he conjured, and justice versus forgiveness never dies, as it always turns up a serendipity. So that's what it is right there. So yeah, excellent, right, by Lockdown Larks, and beautiful, beautiful song.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. And your thoughts, Jean.
I thought this was really nice by Larks. That was a great share, very well done. Nice verses throughout. And I was like, Naomi, I'm like, wait, where is this going? But then down at the end, he says, and so on to a mass party greeting, where illusion, falsehoods, and truth collide. Here I see that true love overcomes cheating. As revenge meets guilt, humility is unveiled, and we all can now abide. And I did like his chorus. A wounded soul should never be bygone. They must seek justice to set them free. When hope whispers, just carry on. Look beyond the tempest for your serenity. I thought it was very nicely done. It was a great choice of voice and music, and yeah, I liked it. So thank you, Lark, for sharing tonight. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. Yeah, I did like how this did speak, and I too wasn't connecting at first, but then yeah, like the two of you, I did catch on to the idea that not only is it, the sense of hope that brings us serendipity, but also the idea that one, the finding of serenity beyond the storms of life. Great lines throughout, wonderful imagery and metaphors, and I think he definitely took great inspiration from Shakespeare's The Tempest.
Yeah.
And I especially like the seas of chance now brings them to this place. As the tide turns, I shall meet them again and will confront their time and space when they will know of humiliation and pain. Can a wounded soul ever be bygone when only justice will set it free? Can hope whispers, you must carry on, as hope whispers, you must carry on, and from a tempest you may find serenity. Excellent, right, and very well done.
Nice. Okay. Well, nice comments, girls. Let me go on to the next one. This next piece is called Around the Bend of Fate by David Meyerhoff. And whenever I'm ready. Around the Bend of Fate by David Meyerhoff. Pounded like hammer on anvil, life's blows pummeled him flat on the ground, heart aching, pulse beating like a drummer out of sync. Bottomed out, no lower to go, further decline impossible, followed by another drop. He wound up in a place no human should go, beyond revival. From the depths of fleeting sound then heard steadily, first distant but approaching with a beat. Like Rocky's rejuvenation from the abyss, to box one more time, music started to grow everywhere. Stereo, pulse sound, rising like the falcon from the ground, enveloping from the air, caressing from above. Limbs started to move, muscles quivered awake. From the bowels of sleep he began to rise, not knowing from where this sudden strength came. Music acting as cheerleader, coach, therapist, and energy drink, newfound purpose in the stride of step, massaging him upwards, out of the pit, propelling him forward to meet the challenge and confront what was avoided at such great cost. End poem.
Great read, Jean. And what a wonderful write by David Meyerhoff. And your thoughts, Naomi?
I really liked it. I like the short lines. I like how powerful it is. Like straight to the point there, but it still, makes such a great impact. The lines pounded like a hammer on anvil. Heart aching, pulse beating like a drummer out of sync, bottomed out, no lower to go. And then he wounds up in this place, and then, the music just comes forward, rushes out of him, and and propels him forward to meet the challenge. You feel like he mentions Rocky, but you really feel like that I could hear the music of Rocky in my head. As Phil was
Yes.
reading it, it's like dum dum. And yeah, he's going through the training, and yeah, really, really great write. I really enjoyed it all the way through. Yeah, wow, bravo.
Absolutely. Great comment. And Jean, your thoughts?
Well, I don't know. I think it was a wonderful piece penned. Like Naomi, I liked the short lines. I thought it read really well. Not that I read it well, but that it read well. You could kind of feel that strength growing in the piece, which I believe was his intent. I mean, here's this guy and he's down and out, you know, and like Naomi said, that Rocky reference is kind of like, uh huh. And then you could kind of feel it building from there. How he did rise up, how he did survive, how music um, touched him, and it's these are lines I picked. Music acting as cheerleader, coach, therapist, and energy drink. Newfound purpose in the stride of step, massaging him upwards out of the pit, propelling him forward to meet the challenge and confront what was avoided at such great cost. Right there, it's that's where he found his. I don't know if I want to call it inspiration, but it's where he drew his inner strength from. And I thought it was very well done. So thank you, David Meyerhoff, for sharing with us tonight. Nice job.
Absolutely. Great comment. Yeah, I too like the short, impactful lines. I liked the strong imagery. I feel like this poem and the one before it were good examples of, while serendipity or serendipitous is a positive idea, oftentimes something is most serendipitous when it appears while going through a very difficult or trying time in your life. Um, I did get a big kick out of the Rocky reference, and because I think we can all just automatically, the music goes in our head. We see him running up the stairs, practicing, and it's just something that becomes instantly relatable to so many people. And I thought there were great lines throughout, but I did especially like that last stanza. Very well done by David Meyerhoff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, now this piece, Pam, I'm coming to you for. And this piece is called Little Good Things by S.E. DeHaven. So, whenever you are ready.
All right. Finding a quarter on a park bench when you're short on bus fare. A little child's weeping, calling his mother's best friend, unexpected in a crowded mall, sliding into the best burger joint you never heard of to avoid the rain. Finding your best friend 3 days old and mewing, helpless in an old banana box behind a grocery store. The world doles out these little miracles, serendipity, little good things like sips of nectar, reminding us to smile. End poem. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Or Pam.
Mhm. Oh, I really like this one. Whoops, my microphone wasn't in the right place. Little good things. I love the title too. S.E. DeHaven. Yeah, new name to me, but I really like this. From the finding that quarter to the little child to the burger joint. Everything all relatable. To real life and all these little things that surprising things that make us smile, make us happy. Yeah. This is one of my favorite ones so far. I shouldn't say that. They're all good, but I really like this one. And yeah, so great job. Awesome little poem.
Oh, absolutely. And those little things do really make a difference and are such a joy. So great comment, Naomi. And your thoughts, Jean?
Oh, absolutely. I like this one as well. It's those things that just kind of keep us like keeping us on the upside of things. Finding a quarter on the park bench when you're short on bus fare. Like there's nothing better than having like this little gift from heaven. You know, um, and I like this too. Finding your best friend 3 days old and mewing helpless in an old banana box. Uh, I think that things happen, and that's what makes it right. And I think she really nailed the prompt with this one. So, great piece, wonderful take on the prompt, and well done. There's just so many little lines running through it that hit all the notes. So, nice job, SED Haven, and thank you for sharing with us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. Yeah, I really like the imagery in this. It is a write that definitely connects very well with the prompt. And just smile inducing. I actually used to have a cat that I found in the parking lot of a grocery store when I worked there. And thankfully I was working on the floors and I was able to keep it hidden in the back, give it a little food and water, and then bring it home once I actually was off work and managed not to get caught. So,
Great.
but that was that part there made me think of my little cat that I used to have. And yeah, it's just wonderful how each you know these little moments in life can mean so much and be those. It doesn't have to be something large and grand, to be those unexpected um, moments in life. I did really enjoy the cleverness of where she says heard of to avoid where does she, okay, finding your best friend 3 days old and mewing helpless in an old banana box behind a grocery store. The world doles out these. I thought using the word doles was quite clever since Dole is also the brand of bananas. So, and other fruits. So, you know, excellent, excellent, right. And very well done.
nice. Very nice. Okay, Naomi, you're up next. And this piece is called Serendipity by Imarama.
Okay. I'm going to have to refresh here. Okay, I'm a rhymer. Alexander Fleming one day in 1928 did set bacteria samples to stay that he needed to study yet in his lab in a corner dark. Fleming then left for quite a while on a vacation to embark. When he got back, he found the pile of bacteria now all dead due to being covered in mold. His further study of this led to a great finding to unfold: penicillin, miracle drug, be discovered by serendipity. End poem.
How about it?
Great read, Naomi. And your thoughts, Jean?
I thought that this was nicely done. It was a clever take on the prompt. Because we first started reading it, I'm going, huh? I was. I'll admit it. I was like, what? But it was really clever. That penicillin, that miracle drug, discovered by serendipity. It was a nice twist on it, and it worked. It really worked because to us, to all of us, serendipity is something maybe a little different. It's always something different for each of us. It's the individual experience, and how we embrace it, I guess. And I thought that this was good. So nice job, I'm a Ryman. Thanks for sharing with us. I liked it.
Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Oh, yeah, I'm right there along with Phil on this one. I really like this. What would we do, without penicillin? Well, of course, today there's, kind of, they've made other things because some people are allergic to penicillin. But, what a great discovery, and what a way to find it, by like a coincidence there. And yeah, it is serendipity. He must have jumped up and down. I don't know, but these researchers, how when you're working so hard to find something, and and then wow, I can just imagine his reaction there. So I really like the unique take on the prompt for sure, and a little bit of science there, and good for you, I'm a rhymer. Wow, great little poem.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I have to agree with both of you. This is such a clever take on the prompt. I enjoy her attention to detail. And, even with, honest to goodness, penicillin was a lifesaver for the time because, like you were saying, Naomi, yeah, we have other options, which is nice because people have allergies to penicillin, but even with allergies, the amount of lives that were being saved
Absolutely.
when penicillin was discovered. And to think that this all came about completely by accident. It was not something that, he was necessarily looking for. It was not the answer he was looking for. So excellent write by Ima Rima, and very well done.
Yes. I have to agree. Um, it's kind of crazy because penicillin was a wonderful thing, and it worked well for me for a long time. And then one day it just decided to make me itch. So what can I say? So yeah, but they had time to figure out something else by then.
Yeah, yeah, that is nice. Yeah, I know my youngest is allergic to amoxicillin, which is a commonly used one, and I don't know if that's a derivative of penicillin, but
It is.
but it is. That's what I was thinking.
It's
That's what I was thinking. But thankfully, they do have other options nowadays.
Yeah, I did pretty good, but then they gave me IV penicillin after I was pregnant, I had an infection, and they gave it to me by an IV, and I think my body just said what, So the next time
Yeah,
they
I
gave me
don't think
something,
so.
yeah, they gave me something orally after that, like for I don't know, uh, the sinus infection. Let's say I don't know what it was. I totally forget by now. And when they did, it was like I was just scratching like crazy. And I was, thank God I was only scratching though. That could have been much worse. Anyway, enough about that. Um, this next piece is called Soundless Interval by Monarch Soul. And whenever I'm ready. Okay. And, well, here we go. She steps soundlessly into the room, soft footfalls against the cold floor. Every moment shivers, echoing against quiet emptiness. Radiating pulse moves slowly, rib to rib. Extremities twitch. Nothing nameable, not yet. Drifting closer, drawn. Inhale. Pause between pulse and possibility. Interval. Tilting toward. Yes. End poem.
Great read there, Jean. And it's wonderful to see that Monarch was inspired to share something in the contest.
Mhm.
And Naomi, your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, there's something about this poem. I liked it so much. It just brings you to this place and it holds you there. You know, it's these little rib to rib extremities twitch, nothing nameable, not yet, drifting closer, drawn, inhale. These little words that you're there. Okay, what's gonna happen? What's going on? But I went, with two possibilities. Either it's I don't know, she's going towards a loved one. She doesn't know. She's going in for that kiss, or it could be a child um, going towards his mother. I don't know, but I really, there's something about it. I really really liked it all the way through, and yeah, those little words are so captivating, if I can say it. And yeah, so you great job, Monarch. So oh,
Absolutely, absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. And your thoughts, Jean?
I thought this was a nice piece by Monarch. I love the pauses in the read, the way she placed them. Um, I, I wasn't sure, but I would have thought this was someone um, moving into someone that was in love. They were in love with each other. And I think the rib to rib is what made me think that. She steps soundlessly into the room, soft footfalls against the cold floor. Every moment shivers, echoing against quiet emptiness. Radiating pulse moves slowly, rib to rib, extremities twitch. Nothing nameable, not yet. It does have that air of mystery to it because nothing is just plainly stated. But it just has this element where you're waiting for that moment, and that moment uh, is what makes the poem because it leads you to use your imagination and figure out what it is. So yeah, I think this was nicely done. So great job, Monarch, and thanks for sharing. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Great comment, Dean. Yeah, I was leaning towards the idea that this felt romantic in nature, that there was this gentle sensuality to it. I have to say that the use of spacing and the phrase pause between pulse and possibility makes me think of the idea that no matter what the happiness is that you're waiting for, no matter what the potentials, the possibility is that you're waiting for, um, it's not going to come about. It's while you're impatient, you have to. There has to be a patience in life when when waiting, um, you know, for those serendipitous moments. Also, the fact that, nothing nothing ever happens. Like, to me, this has such a wonderful sense of movement, and it reminds us that nothing ever happens if we stand still.
Right.
Excellent write by Monarch Soul, and very well done.
Absolutely. Okay, Pam. Well, this next piece I'm going to put up, I'm coming to you. And this is called Sentiment Ascent by Way Down Upon Joy. Mm-hmm.
All right. I woke to summer's heated breath and learned to crawl warm sand. Each morning's light another test of how I'd learned to stand. Strong winds of change would always wake innateness in my mind, and what I learned from each mistake were values now defined. The endless days of joyous ways shared nature's finest fare, and I became a steward for those scenes of no compare. The city too would be my school, providing tools I need, and offered me a working rule to walk with future speed. So now came time to leave behind that comfort zone of youth, to watch a world of wallet wealth sort fantasy from truth. The limbs gone bare with leaves of change served rearranged for sight, and then they'd show that they could grow renewal's hope just right. So spring would resurrect the loss that needed winter's chill, while I lived autumn like the trees, recycling worse self-will. Most years would pass those days with grace, yet check resolves reward, as winter lingers with my wings for future's stage explored. It seems control is not controlled when fate steps in unplanned. So I'd not know new tests would show more tests for time's demand. I'd wake to chill of what's to come, but sweater up for heat, and know that I'm not standing still with role to play discreet. I will rely on wisdom's hand to guide me ever on, while love of peace is wonder's way to savor each new dawn. And come what may, each day's a chance to linger with my thoughts and poetry of seasoned times that serve forget me nots. End poem. What an absolutely beautiful write by Way Down Upon Joy. Um, and your thoughts, Jean?
Well, I did think it was a beautifully written piece. Absolutely. And there were a lot of positive thoughts in this. Even here when it says, "So now came time to leave behind that comfort zone of youth, to watch a world of wallet wealth, sort fantasy from truth." It starts out there, but then it says, "Most years would pass, those days of grace, yet check resolves reward, as winter lingers with my wings, for future stage explored." It's that hope of the future, the change. And I think I mean, even I find that was like the most serious of the the three segments. Yet she pulled out that end, for future stage explored. I think that it was very very nicely done. There was a lot of positive thoughts in it. So wonderful job, and thank you so much for sharing with us. Way down upon joy. Great piece, wonderful job. Naomi, what did you think?
Yeah, I really liked it. The way that she goes through the seasons, and she uses the seasons to go through her life, basically, like going from childhood to into adulthood. I really liked. I think that the idea of serendipity comes in. It comes in like all through, but especially in the end there, I will rely on wisdom's hand to guide me ever on, while love of peace is wonder's way to savor each new dawn. And come what may, each day's a chance to linger with my thoughts and poetry of seasoned times that serve forget me nots. So that's so beautiful. The poetry of seasoned times that serves forget me not. So serves up a little bit of serendipity all the time there. So yeah, really well done. And I love the flow of this and the way it's worded all the way through. So way down upon joy. Great job. Bravo. Well done.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great comments. Yeah, I thought this had a beautiful rhyme, wonderful imagery and metaphors. I too like how she takes us through the seasons of life and how, there are so many opportunities to learn and to grow, to run into the unexpected and to explore life to the fullest. And I thought there were so many wonderful lines throughout, but I did especially like that second stanza. So wonderful, right? And very well done by Way Down Upon Joy.
Nice. Okay. Now, Naomi, I'm going to come to you. And this piece is called I Spy with Blue Irises by
Okay.
Patty Mike. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. Oh boy, this refreshing.
I know.
My gracious, it's driving me nuts.
Me
Okay, where am I? Okay. Okay, I got it. Wow. Okay. A little bit of French there. Okay. Patty Mike, I spy with blue irises. Spying I with blue irises. Faces flash across a star-filled sky. Fate maps out my path of destiny. Blessed kisses rain down upon my furrowed brow. Angels of comfort and peace sent to me by my lover, the goddess, Serendipity. In the quiet, the secret, staring into the blackness, nothingness, lies the answer, solution, revelation that sets me free. This is my evolution, my time to shine. And to the names, the faces locked tightly within my sights, these obstacles, pitfalls may have might and come, bringing their fights that like thieves in the night. They cannot, will not snuff out my inner light. End poem.
Mm.
Great read, Naomi. And your thoughts, Jean?
I thought this was really cool. I like how he started this off right from the beginning. And then, of course, I like his last line as well. Spying, I with blue irises, faces flash across a star-filled sky. Fate maps out my path of destiny. Blessed kisses raining down upon my furrowed brow. Angels of comfort and peace sent to me by my lover, the goddess Serendipity. I thought that was a great lead-in for something with the perfect fit to the contest. Absolutely. Because when was this done? December of 2011. So I think it fit nicely. But I have to say, they will not snuff out my inner light at the end. I thought was great. No matter what happens, I'm going to hang on to good things. They're going to keep me going. I like the lines. So very well done, Patty Mike. And thanks for sharing with us. Nice job.
Yeah, absolutely. Great comment, Jean. And your thoughts, Naomi?
This poem makes me think of my mom and the way I was brought up. She always said to me, if you're positive, you're going to bring positive things into your life. And if you surround yourself with positive people, you know, that's even better. Keep
Yeah.
the positive in your life. And it's so true. And I think it touches in here, so beautifully, with the, the at the end here, locked tightly within my sight, these obstacle pitfalls may have might, and come bringing their fights like thieves in the night. They cannot, will not snuff out my inner light. So, maybe through our positivity, and not maybe, I really think so, we bring on, serendipity into our life. So, yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
beautiful write by Patty Mike.
Great comment, Naomi. And I have to agree, positive energy is a very important thing to put out there in the world. This poem actually reminded me, because the mention of the goddess serendipity had me looking up if there was a myth connection to mythology. And I had read this before, but had forgotten about it. The term serendipity was actually coined by Horace Walpole and was inspired by the Persian fairy tale The Three Princes of Serendip. And because the three heroes in the fairy tale kept discovering all these good things by accident, and
Yeah.
that's how the word serendipity came about.
Okay.
It was coined in 1754.
Oh,
So
it's just young. It's young.
yes, exactly. So not it's young as far as compared to other words that stem from ancient Greek and Latin. Um, but I thought this had wonderful lines. It definitely was a pre-write that connected really well with the topic. Very thoughtful in its presentation. I do like how it speaks on the idea of recognizing that when it's your time to shine. And great lines throughout. But I did especially like that second stanza. Very well done by Patty Mike.
Right. I like it. Oh, sugar, honey. Iced tea. Hang on. Okie dokie. I'm back to where I wanted to be, I think. Ah, okay. Now, this next piece I'm going to put up is called Scented Blessings of Joy and Wonder by Rose Winter 515. Yes. And whenever I'm ready. Scented blessings of joy and wonder. Who is Heavenly Mary, Queen of Hearts, Mother of Jesus, top of our charts, whose angels sang from the realms of glory, God's messengers spread the joyful story. Why is the black hellebore so special? Is it rose or Christmas, Mary's symbol? Who gives us eternal blessings of love? We pray to our God in heaven above. End poem.
Great read, Jean. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Well, having faith is a wonder in itself, and it brings great joy. So, is a little bit of serendipity there. Um, yeah, I really like this. I admire people who have this faith. Well, like my parents, they have so much faith. And it brings on all these little joyful moments of surprise. But of course, that they're such positive people. Maybe that is because they have faith in something that is, higher than them, and everything will go well. God will provide. You know, so bring me back to that, and my parents, and my father, and and growing up. And yeah, so thank you, Rose Winter 515.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That is so true. I remember one of my aunts saying to me one time, I don't understand how, you can be going through the most difficult times and then all of a sudden everything just works out. And I said, well, that's because God takes care of fools like me.
Mm,
Oh my God.
And,
mm.
but great comment, Naomi. And Jean, your thoughts.
I always heard God takes care of drunks and little babies, and I always try and figure
There
out
you go.
which category I fall in. I'm like, yeah, I'm sober most of the time, and I think I'm a little too old to be considered a baby, but I still think He takes care of me. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I thought this was nicely penned by Rose. Nice lines throughout, and I love the questions and responses as well. Very well done, and thank you for sharing with us, Rose Winner 515. She always puts something positive in the shows, so I give her credit on that. She's our serendipity, maybe.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Great comment, Jean. Um, and yeah, I thought this was a beautiful spiritual brevity by Rose Winter 515. Thoughtful and heartfelt lines. I like how she pays tribute to Mary, the Queen of Hearts, and the rose of Christmas being her symbol. Such a wonderful write and very well done.
Absolutely. Okay, Pam, I'm coming to you next, and this piece is called Serendipity by Heavenly Angel. So whenever you're ready.
All right. In the quiet hush of lemon butter sunset, as the horses graze on the hay in the back pasture, I lift whispered prayers up to the Almighty. Evening breezes begin to sing their close of day lullaby, the chaos of the day forgotten, as currents of peace saturate my soul, serendipity achieved. End poem. And your thoughts, Jean?
I thought that this was I'm all choked up. I thought this was a beautiful little write. I mean, it's a great brevity. Uh, I love the lemon butter sunset because when you look at the image, it works. It definitely works. The descriptions are great. The imagery is wonderful. Um, but I'll take it I'll take it right to that last line. Serendipity achieved. You look and the serenity in the image, and just imagine being there, and I mean that would be a beautiful way to live to me. That peaceful, quiet, being able to appreciate nature. Um, yeah, I think this is just beautiful. Um, Let me see. I'll take the last stanza. Evening breezes begin to sing their close of day lullaby, the chaos of the day forgotten, as currents of peace saturate my soul. Yeah, I thought that was just lovely. So thanks for sharing with us, Heavenly Angel. This is a nice piece. Much enjoyed.
It really, absolutely great comment, Jean. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Ah, this brought me back to my great grandmother and PEI and on the farm, and just sitting there on the porch, the old rocking chair, and cup of tea, and to the yeah, just the sunset over the cape, and oh my gracious, that that was catching. He gave me your cough.
I'm contagious.
Oh my goodness.
How funny is that?
But yeah, the chaos of the day forgotten, as currents of peace saturate my soul. Isn't that that's so well phrased that uh, and then serendipity achieved. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful piece, Heavenly Angel. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Me too. Great comment, Naomi. Yeah, I like that this is written in the voice of someone who realizes that they're not waiting for serendipity. It has arrived, that everything in their life is exactly as they want it. They're not searching for anything more. There is just such amazing imagery and thoughtful and heartfelt lines. It's a beautifully written brevity all the way through. Very well done by Heavenly Angel.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, Naomi, I'm coming to you. And this piece is called Serendipitous by Lyrically Inclined. So, whenever you are ready.
Okay. Oh my, I had to refresh, but it didn't work. Come on. Oh, yes, it did. Okay. Okay. Lyrically inclined and the serendipitous. Just how can I explain what was meant to be? How could something so random, so accidental, be so instrumental, so necessary? You can call it fate, karma, or whatever you believe, but for a chance encounter to become the reason why I live and breathe, the reason why I strive and achieve, oh, sorry, the reason why I want and need, could it possibly be serendipity? And boom.
Gonna drink a water.
Great read, Naomi. And your thoughts, Jean?
I thought this was a sweet and short piece. Short and sweet, sweet and short. I guess it doesn't matter which way I say that. How could something so random, so accidental, be so instrumental, so necessary? You can call it fate, karma, or whatever you believe. Um, but I like the ending. Could it possibly be serendipity? I think it was nicely done. So, and what a difference. Lyrically inclined. Uh, I think this is the shortest piece I've ever seen by them, ever. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've only seen long pieces, and I think that this was just really well done. Um, so, how about it? I guess something different, and it was a nice job. So, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight, Lyrically Inclined. Well done.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great comment, Jean. And your thoughts, Naomi?
I love the flow of this while I was reading it. While I wasn't choking,
Yeah,
but there's a kind of a rhythm, a rhyme to it in certain places. How could something so random, so accidental, be so instrumental, so necessary? You can call it fate, karma, whatever you believe. And then they have the word breathe there, achieve. Um, so yeah, there was parts of it that came so well together because of that rhythm and that rhyme to it, and made it so beautiful to read, and to sound. The sound of it was really nice, and yeah, I think it really describes serendipitous moment here. How can this be? How can this happen? How can I explain it? When it's something that you can't really explain. Uh, could it possibly be serendipity? So yeah, very well put together, lyrically inclined. I really enjoyed it.
right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. Yeah, I thought this was a wonderful write by Lyrically Inclined. It definitely connected very well with the topic, such thoughtful lines. Um, and the idea of those chance encounters in life, um, those that suddenly that happen to us, and how they're just an important part of our lives because they can mean a turning point. Wonderful lines throughout. I like the way each stanza flows beautifully into the next, and very well done by Lyrically Inclined.
Ladies, I just want to say, I just glanced at the clock, and I cannot believe it's already 11:30.
Yep, yep.
This night just flowed right through. Do you not think that
That's
it just?
time flying faster than we expect. It's serendipitous.
I mean, yes, time flies when you're having fun. I'll tell you. I'm really.
Yep.
or you're not awake yet, Phil.
Maybe I'm thinking that I'm here,
Yeah,
but
an hour and a half into the show, and Phil just wakes up.
I thought it was going to be 11 o'clock. I'm thinking, wow, it's got to be around 11 o'clock. And I looked, I said, darn, it's 11:30. What a trip.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm
Right.
telling you.
Time flies, like you said, when you're having fun.
I'm telling you. Okay, this next piece is called Along My Seams by Macris. And Whenever I'm Ready. Cracked by hands that did not care, no judgment spoke, no witness came. A blush of faults beneath my skin, fine valleys cut to take no name. From a small room's thin, accusing glow, I read from lines no one could hide. Each silence etched a narrow claim, each shadow scribed me from inside. I thought my breaks were proof of lack, a verdict sealed in brittle clay, till I beheld a mender's art that turned to ruin toward the way. It did not stand my story smooth, nor bleach my record into grace, but heat a slow enduring glaze, and trace my wounds in rightful place. No single pore can make me whole, no sudden craft or swift undo, but patient fire along my seams remakes the shape I fractured through. The molten runs where once I bled, more honest than my names once knew. It holds my edges into form, and binds the broken into view. So those that turn from fractured things, I bear mine open to the light, not less for having come apart, but veined with gold and made more bright. End poem.
Great read, Jean, and what an amazing write by Macris. Great rhyme and flow, wonderful consistency in tone, amazing imagery and metaphors. I like how she uses the artistic process of kintsugi, where the gold is poured into the cracks, or the gold is used to fix the cracks, as a metaphor, and the idea that some of the most beautiful and unexpected things happen in life when we're going through the process of healing, when we're going through the process of becoming a person who is filling in their fractures, their brokenness, with something beautiful. And I thought there were great lines throughout, but I especially liked it did not sand my story smooth, nor bleach my record into grace, but heat a slow enduring glaze, and trace my wounds in rightful place. No single pore can make me whole, no sudden craft or swift undo, but patient fire along my seams remakes the shape I fractured through. Wonderful lines, and just very well done by Macris.
Absolutely. Okay, everything went quiet.
And welcome back, Naomi. Naomi, did you get a chance to read that poem by Macris?
Yeah, I just finished reading it. Sorry, I keep pressing on the wrong button on the. I went to the chat there because Yumpy said something, and then I pressed on the wrong button, and I was
That's all.
flowing out of there. So I went, oh no, not again. I've been doing that that's the third time tonight. Oh my gracious. Yeah, me too. I really like this poem by Macris here. And of course you chose the stanzas I was coming back to, Pam. But all the way through, oh my gracious, it just shows it's just so gracefully written. It's just so soft and so um, yeah. It just so it's spiritual in a way. I almost, I really enjoyed this. I bear mine open to the light, not less for having come apart, but veined with gold and made more bright. Yeah, you come away from your the things that are flown at you, in life, those things those cracks that happen, those unfortunate things that happen that are not so unfortunate, but that are learning tools and stepping whatever ladders or rungs on a ladder, to become a better you. And I think she shows this in this poem, and I just love it all the way through, right from the title along my seams, right down to that last line there. Yeah, just beautiful, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Great
yeah,
comment, Naomi.
I have to agree
And
with Naomi too, as well as you, Pam. I thought this was an excellent piece by Macris. I think she did a great job, and it was very well expressed. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was well done. I love the poetry that you can get from, what is it, Pam Kitsugi? I never say it right, even when I'm looking at the word. It's awful, but you know, you take something broken and you make it beautiful, and that's that's kind of the art to life, because no matter what gets you or breaks you or tries to break you, you come back and you come back shining. I mean, that's what you have to do. It's not easy, but that is the challenge. And I took the last two stanzas of this. The molten runs where once I bled, more honest than my names once knew. It holds my edges into form and binds the broken into view. So those that turn from fractured things, I bear mine open to the light, not less for having come apart, but veined with gold and made more bright. Great job. Wonderful job, Macris, and thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. Much enjoyed. Absolutely.
absolutely great comment, Jean.
Uh, yep, yep, yep. Okay. Now, back to business. Oh, now I gotta find the page again. There it is. Okay, this piece is called Simple Enchantment by Wade Doan. And Pam, whenever you are ready.
All right. There was that time, do you remember, walking into that huge room in that old house? Room full of empty old bottles, hundreds, all shapes and sizes. The sun brilliant through the tall bare windows, the bottles glowing in all their colors. Bottles on tables, on open shelves, bottles on the windowsills glistening, bottles for medicine and perfume, spices, beverages, contents long ago depleted, the vessels remaining placed and arranged by some unknown hand, also long gone, and we there moving slowly in amazement and awe as the bottles shimmer, glaze, and bounce in the sunlight in wonderment for the moment and for the paths that brought us there, for the delights and for the trials in all their shapes and colors to become a gift like this. And poem. And your thoughts, Jean?
I thought this was very nicely penned. At first, again, I was like, where are we going with this? And then I went, oh, wait a minute, placed and arranged by some unknown hand also long ago. And we there, moving slowly in amazement and awe, as the bottles shimmer, glaze, and bounce on the sunlight, in wonderment for the moment, and for the paths that brought us there, for the delights and for the trials, in all their shapes and colors, to become a gift like this. Yeah, sometimes the path we take leads us someplace we weren't expecting. And I thought that this had a lot of interesting images in this, those bottles, right from the beginning. And I thought that was pretty amazing. So nicely done, Wade Dowen. And thank you for sharing with us tonight. Really like this one.
Absolutely. Great comment. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Yeah, I really like this one too. There's something about the descriptives. The bottles on tables, on open shelves, bottles on the windowsills, glistening, bottles for medicine and perfume, spices, beverage. There's a nostalgic feeling to this whole poem, and and it brings us back to that enjoyment of simple things and enchantment almost, like oh, there must be a magical potion in one of those bottles there. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Very well done.
Absolutely. Great comment. Yeah, I really enjoyed the imagery in this, especially to the references of bottles, the different bottles for medicine and perfume, spices, and beverages, which I think gave it this beautiful consistency in tone and this sense of nostalgia. I like how this speaks on the idea of people looking back at their life to see that through the trials and through like he says, and for the paths that brought us there, for the delights and for the trials and all their shapes and colors to become a gift like this. Like the idea that everything you go through in life leads you to the gift that is in the present moment. So excellent write by Wade Downen and very well done.
Absolutely. Now, Naomi, I'm coming to you for this next one. And Pam, while Naomi is reading this, I have to step away. So I will be
Okay.
as soon as I can. Okay, this is called The Trauma of Losing Control by Xanthos Basilius. And Naomi, it's up, and whenever you're ready.
Okay. Okay, the trauma of losing control. Once I joked before we saw parody become indistinguishable from truth and head up asshole aborosis suck their way into singularity. So let this old chestnut crack up your tooth. Nightmares are dreams, misfortune is still luck. Never mind bad, 80% of say. Crap, checks your math. Tasso unwary, gross, foolish. The flightless red hand marks her tracks, while prompts from the on cause first cause. A turtle shell game that carries its house that always wins on the shirts off our backs. For the people has a way of getting away from the people. Beautiful bomb, the dawn's early light, shining megaton, miracles. The irony in bloodletting is that it heals us, soothes our humors calm. Don't trust those who wish for revelation. Faith can only groan in the hole of doubt. A devil resplendent in burning crown tramples the sun under 16-ton feet. In a certain light is on the way out. No more wrong or right, only doubling down. Elephant stampede to the discord beat. End poem.
Great read there, Naomi. I tell you, this definitely fits with the idea of unexpected. Like, like it feels like everything in here is so just crazy. Like the idea of things that couldn't possibly ever happen. It definitely has visceral imagery, clever wordplay. And I don't know, like it feels like a world turned topsy turvy. The trauma of losing control. That's a good title. That's a good title. The idea, because the title alone makes me think of the idea of how much we get frustrated with the idea of losing control of our own lives. And great lines throughout. But I did especially like a turtle shell game that carries its house that always wins on the shirts off our backs, for the people has a way of getting away from the people. Wonderful lines and very well done. And Naomi, you did a great read of that. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think I was Alice and I just went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, wait, what's going on? And then when I was just going, what's going on? I was reading another line. I was there, okay, what's going on? But yeah, everything is so like you have the example of a devil resplendent in burning crown tramples the sun under 16-ton feet. So you can't have sun down that far down. But that's just an example. It's elephant stampede to the discord beat, right down to the last sentence. It's like it's all kinds of, like you said, Pam, all kinds of craziness going on, all mixed in, which makes it like kind of like awesome. So yeah, great job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. And Jean, your thoughts?
Well, I wish I had some, but I just got back and I haven't had a chance to really read it fully. So I'm going to have to leave a written comment afterwards.
All right.
But yeah, leave it to me. This next piece I'm going to put up is called Accidental Love by CRL 17. And you put that up. And here we go. You wandered into my ordinary day, like light slipping through an open door. You made no demands. You didn't have to announce your arrival. You just quietly changed the rhythm of my breath, the beating of my heart. No thunder, just a sudden act of fate, like a song that I suddenly knew by heart. Our conversations grew longer. Our laughter became constant. And when you reached out for me, I felt truth. Love doesn't arrive on a certain schedule. It comes on side streets and unexpected turns, a meeting of destiny, like two rivers coming together, carrying the same current, learning about one another's flow. End of poem.
Great read, Jean. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Oh, I love how he explains, like love, that as serendipity, because there's I don't know how many millions of people or whatever are on the planet, but for you to meet that one special person, isn't that like just an serendipity right there? What's the chance that you meet your person? And So yeah, I like it, just a sudden act of fate, like a song that I suddenly knew by heart. And then, how the conversations grew longer and the laughter. And yeah, and then I like his metaphors in the end there, like the one with the streets and the unexpected turns, and then the last couplet, with the two rivers. So beautifully done, uh, CRL 17. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. And your thoughts, Jean?
I really like this piece. I think CRL did a great job. Wonderful take on the prompt, and just really well done. I really enjoyed it, and I picked it up here. Just a sudden act of fate, like a song that suddenly knew by heart. Our conversations grew longer, our laughter became constant, and when you reached out for me, I felt truth. Love doesn't arrive on a certain schedule. It comes on side streets and unexpected turns, a meeting of destiny. Great job. So thank you, CRL, for sharing with us tonight. I really like this piece.
Yeah, absolutely. Great comment. Yeah, I too really enjoyed and appreciated this piece. It's heartfelt and romantic. Great take on the theme for sure. Uh, I like how it speaks on the serendipity of finding that one true love, that soul that connects with your own. And I really thought there were great lines all the way through, but I did really like just a sudden act of fate, like a song that I suddenly knew by heart. Our conversations grew longer, our laughter became constant. Wonderful lines, beautifully written, and very well done.
Absolutely. Okay, Pam, I'm coming to you with what might be our last poem of the night. And this is called I Did Not Know by Bookworm Dave 227. So whenever you're ready.
All right. I walked into class, graduate level history. I was late, but welcomed. She sat there smiling. I was drawn to her. Her smile was like a magnet, and I was steel, finding more in common. I was not looking for a new best friend, felt the idea was so high school, but we blossomed, bloomed like the flowers of spring. It was not just about history, tea, libraries, books, books, that was my kryptonite. I found common threads, and we sewed a heart into a friendship that has lasted over two moves. She gently reminded me not to do too much. Yes, I am doing what she warned me about. As friends can be blunt and honest, but always with love. I was not looking for this, but so glad I found her. End poem.
Nice.
And Naomi, your thoughts?
Well, serendipity, that last line sums it up, doesn't it? I was not looking for this, but so glad I found her. That, like we saw in the last poem, just that encounter, that surprising, rewarding, loving encounter that we don't plan. It just happens. So yeah, great storytelling as usual, Bookworm Dave, and great write. Thank you.
Absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. And your thoughts, Jean?
I thought Dave did a great job with this. It was a nice take on the prompt. And, I'm with Naomi. That last line really summed the whole thing up. But I did pick it up from I found common threads as we sewed a heart into a friendship that has lasted over two moves. Now, I've never heard that said before. Two moves. Is that something I'm just not up to date on? That I thought that was an interesting choice of words. She gently reminded me not to do too much. Guess I am doing what she warned me about. As friends can be blunt and honest, but always with love. I was not looking for this, but so glad I found her. I thought it was that last line, as Naomi said, tied it all together. But a nice take on the prompt and well done. So thank you, Dave, for sharing with us tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. Yeah, I thought this had thoughtful and heartfelt lines. It was wonderfully nostalgic. I like how it speaks on the idea of finding a close connection with another person that you did not expect. And I thought there were great lines throughout, but I did especially like, I was not looking for a new best friend, felt the idea was so high school, but we blossomed, bloomed like the flowers of spring. Wonderful lines and very well done by Bookworm Dave.
Very nice. Well, I guess we have time for one more. Dave's was a nice short little piece. Miss Naomi, I'm going to come to you. And this is called The Art of Finding and Being Found by Splitsville Bowling. So it's up, and whenever you're ready.
Okay, just trying to refresh here.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Oh, that didn't work.
It will let you.
Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay. The art of finding and being found. Oh, I have to think. I just put two big candies in my mouth. I said I'm coming to you. Sorry, I had to take those out because I couldn't talk with them. Okay. Out escaping, arm out, pinching at substances to see what is finding me. Like water through leaves, washing along the curb, stopping with everyone else at the corner. A fish walking the shore, watching ribbons crest and fall. The weight of a man being interviewed, the relief of a man being sentenced. A pebble on a dune rolling down in motion, but motionless in scale. Suppose the nuance of a train at odds with the power of a wave. I get chills when I look at buildings, the lives of people inside them, the smallness of them compared to this vantage, but each the center of a private solar system. The commerce and conversations over morning coffee and donuts. What are we doing for lunch? Someone's birthday is today. They're hoping for the centerpiece. Someone is hung over, wants to smoke badly. One's making reservations for his mistress. She's hiring a hitman on company time. At 5:30, she slaps her kids around. Someone is planning to ask her on a date. Someone doesn't know how much more they can bear. Someone can't stop falling in love. The building swells and mellows like a bellows with the rattling nerves of a young man anxious to propose and the trembling palms of a young woman hoping he does. A group of boys were leaning further down the wall where I was sitting. They were smoking. We were smoking. I'm waiting for a cab and trying to understand what modern art is rejecting this time and waiting for the cops to bust them up. It gets so windy sometimes. You can't help but to smell the smells of the lake. Camels and left-handed chokes and kosher and Gentile vendors and the contracts and storage files. I wonder about the worms who ate the books out from under the monks in monasteries. I bet they could go through the Sears Tower like gangbusters, maybe quicker than a checkered hat can split up the riffraff. It's hard to see Lake Michigan sometimes, though, through the architecture, through the people. It's best to go up to see it. Each floor has a window at the end of the hallway. Each time the elevator opens, you squint to get a glimpse outside. One time I saw an element breeze by. I'm certain it was from St. Clement's. End poem.
Great read there, Naomi. This one certainly had intriguing lines with visceral imagery. I felt like it really took a life at or a look at the craziness and ugliness of life, and how you never really know what's going on in the mind and lives of each individual person, and the turmoil that they're going through. Little trouble connecting with the topic, but I still appreciate it. I like the poem for what it is. I do think that it definitely has a hard-hitting impact to it. So nicely done. And Jean, your thoughts?
Well, as you said, I couldn't connect it with the topic, and you know me, that's me. I'm always going, wait, where does this tie in? Where does this tie in? So it kind of left me hanging. So I'm glad you commented first, Pam. I know you tried.
Yeah.
There were so many intriguing lines and images in this. Um, it was an interesting piece all the way through. It was like kind of like the day in the life, um, each individual bit of it brought forward for everyone to see. From the people in the office. Um, let's see, morning coffee and donuts. What are we doing for lunch? Someone's birthday is today. They're hoping for a centerpiece. Someone is hungover, wants to smoke badly. One's making reservations for his mistress. She's hiring a hitman on company time. At 5:30, she slaps her kids around. Someone is planning to ask her on a date. Someone doesn't know how much more they can bear. It's just walking through all the elements of a day. Down to the group of boys and all these different um, images. All the way through. And I thought it was very clever in that respect, and it was nicely done. It kept you thinking, and it kept your mind going. Oh yeah, I knew someone like that. Wait, I knew someone like that. Wait, I know someone like that. It
Yes.
just kind of,
Yes.
you can't help but connect with bits and pieces of it throughout. Some of us connect with more people or visuals than others. But I did think it was very well done in that respect. As you said, I can't tie it in with the prompt, but I'm sure somewhere they could. So I'll give it to that.
Yeah, and it definitely, like you said, it has its strengths. It is a snapped
Right,
on the day of life, and it does grab and keep your attention. So
right. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I
Great,
agree with you. So
great
thanks for sharing.
comment, Jean.
Yes.
And Naomi, your thoughts?
Yeah, I really liked it. It's everything that goes on in a day. But what I thought was clever is that he brings it all together at the end. Like with the metaphor of, every time the elevator opens, you squint to get a glimpse outside. So those little glimpses outside ties in with all those little moments of the day. So I thought that was really clever that he brought it all back together there with that metaphor at the end. So yeah, well done, and yeah, great job.
Absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. And wonderful show tonight. In less than a half hour, people can join Aphasiana and Babbler uh, for part sinner, part saint. Thank you, as always, Jean and Naomi, for being my twisted sisters. Um, Thank you to Yumpy and Macris for hanging on the board. Thank you to everyone who is listening now or will be listening later, and to everyone who shared their time and rights. Carryovers will go on next week's Twisted Tuesdays show. And make sure, of course, to keep an eye out on the contests and topic boards put up by Late Night Poets, host and hostesses, because you're sure to find something to inspire. And have a wonderful night, everyone.
Good
Thanks.
night, everybody.
Thanks, Pam. Great topic. Wonderful rights. Naomi, as always, it was great to have you join us. Yumpy, thanks for hanging on the board, and thank you to those who listened on YouTube. I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you.
Mhm. Good
Good night,
night.
everybody.